Hello and welcome to part two of this health checkup of the top six clubs that we're doing. The clubs in focus today are Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester United. We've got two Chelsea fans here first, so it's very, very apt that we go to Chelsea first. Vijay and Akshay here. I'll start with you, Akshay. Hi, first of all, welcome back to the Sports Doyen. Thank you so much for joining us.
You.
Just a plug for V Express Sports from our end, guys. Do check it out. They're almost like a sister channel, brother channel, whatever you want, whatever relationship you want to give that, whichever sibling it is. But oh, come on, Vijay, we're not Game of Thronesing here. Coming back to more serious matters.
Yes.
Chelsea, Akshay. How have you seen the season? And what are your expectations from every competition that Chelsea are still involved?
First 11 games we had one defeat. और उसके बाद last 6 games we've had 4 defeats. Then you can see how the pattern is flowing and how we are getting into the season. So the expectations were high at the start of the season. We had good players coming in. We had our academy players performing. Mason Mount has been performing really well. I think he's been the one consistent player for us, Mason Mount. And Golo Kante has been consistent, but last match Arsenal के against थोड़ा हो गया गड़बड़. But that's it. I think we have the squad to be in top 4. We have the squad to be challenging. We should have been challenging this season with teams dropping points. We have the depth, squad depth. Defense में है, attack में है. We should have been performing better in this later stages of the tournaments. And I think वही होता है ना, if you're playing same players, the rotation का problem आता है, बहुत कुछ चीजें हैं. I think rotation is the important aspect. I think we haven't covered that. Frank Lampard hasn't done that well. Obviously, in-game tactics, we can talk all about that. But I think every 3 days में एक game हो रहा है Chelsea का, I think in December. And I don't think उतना rotation हुआ है to actually मतलब players उतना perform कर पाए. Like we have seen with Manchester United, they have rotated really well in this month. मतलब उनके पास players है, Chelsea के पास players है, but you see a pattern with Manchester United. They have rotated players, but with Chelsea, you see Werner, Timo Werner starting at left wing every game. So that's something we should look at and we should change that. Now we have all the players fit. I think Vijay would agree on that rotation bit और tactics के बारे में add कर सकता है I think Vijay.
Oh man, Akshay, you look really spent because of Chelsea, man. Like, Vijay, coming to you, Akshay did mention a very key point there, and I remember you telling us at the very, very start of the season, right? You wanted Werner to get rest, and this was when you guys were in your unbeaten run. Like, not even like towards the end of it, towards the middle of your unbeaten run, when you said Werner looks spent, he looks tired, he looks devoid of energy. Still been playing every game, friend.
And he looks like a player who's been playing every game and has needed a rest for at least 5 games now.
Maybe more.
Yeah, he's missing the chances that any striker is supposed to score. So that's I think the level of, I think not just physical fatigue, just mental fatigue as well that's going through Timo Werner. With respect to Chelsea, I need you to know I can't review the last game because I stopped watching at the 20th minute. And I'm glad Sushil's on the podcast because the moment the game was like starting and the camera zooms past the 2 lined up teams, I messaged him saying that this is going to be a game where Arsenal will score the first goal and then clench their butt cheeks and Chelsea will just suffocate and die. And I knew before the ball was even kicked because since you guys said, you guys saw Rocky 3. Yeah. It was the eye of the tiger, dude. I have never felt that shit more in my life. Because the camera was panning and I swear Arsenal looked like, like Channing Tatum in that stripping movie, like just dumb but full of it, like we have nothing to lose. We are here to, give it our best. And Chelsea are just like, what? Duh. It was really, it was before the ball was kicked. what we expect in the Premier League when you are fighting for a top four spot against a relegation threatened direct rival on Derby Day is you want to kill them. You want to make sure that they're put in their place. This is a squad without no Aubameyang. This is no Gabriel. This is a shitty squad without their, the players that don't make them that shitty.
Yeah.
So it's like the bug is asking for the boot to squish it, right? And this guy just slips on a banana peel. I honestly, the amount of analogies I used that day, like I felt like it was somebody crawling into bed, putting on their quilt, and then just shitting the bed. It was so horrible. It was really, really, really horrible. And I think this is the first time you've seen me go at it, because in terms of Chelsea,
I like that guy.
Angry
You're like a
fan.
toned down version of that angry rant.
Yeah,
This is
Oh,
so
man.
much more
but
sophisticated.
you have to
Please.
understand.
Yeah,
You
come on.
have to understand that's the level of my disappointment from minute one. I think I remember watching the 4th minute. Arsenal were on their second corner, and I'm like, "What am I watching? This is not. This is not the team that's 7
But
points away
I-
from
I-
the top of the
I
table."
expected this to happen. I remember last season, Southampton were beaten for 7 games, and 8
Yeah.
games was against Chelsea, and we lost.
No, I agree, dude. Because and make no mistake,
Oh,
like
come on,
I
man.
was hoping to hear from an Arsenal fan say that they did some tactics right and they were really good. But I tell them to just go to hell, because we were so horrible that was the game where we played like we I think and it showed throughout the
Yeah.
game. I maybe this is a point where I don't agree with you, Akshay, where you say that we have the squad to be challenging for the title this season. No, if you look at the 3-3 with West Brom, and then I think the 2-0 lead we had at Southampton, then it became 2-2. It shows that this squad isn't a group of mature players, or isn't the kind of players that should be winning the title overall, or at least even the manager is not. You can say to an extent that we're missing that Fabregas, that Costa kind of addition of
exactly.
quality and
I
experience.
think we'll get most out of these players in coming years. But I was hoping to see something more. At least the
I
start
agree.
was really
I
good.
want to agree with you. I
Yeah.
honestly do. But when I see the camera, which I think in 20 minutes I'll see for this game, I will let you know if Chelsea are going to beat Aston Villa or not. Or
No, I mean Kante was mistiming his tackles. He was misplacing passes. You're the main guy, your best player is misplacing passes and mistiming his tackles. Then you're
it was
in trouble.
and if I have to go deep dive into the possible reasons of why that is, you can say it's fatigue, you can say it's lack of game management, whatever. I think it's basically Frank Lampard has been playing the 4-3-3, and I think the last great conversation we had about Chelsea was after Leeds, and they outran Leeds. They were, they might be competing for the title, etc., etc. But maybe that was the last bit of energy that they had to continue with that same tactic.
Yeah.
And I think the consequences are riling up in the last 4 games. So today's game, the lineup is out. There is 4 changes made. There's Azpilicueta instead of Reece James. There's Hudson-Odoi instead of who's on the right wing?
Pulisic used to play on the right.
Now he's playing left. Hudson-Odoi on the right. Jorginho.
So there is no Werner.
Yeah,
there is no Werner. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, there is no Werner.
Finally,
Giroud's up
some
front,
rest.
and also.
Have you guys dropped Jordan?
Rudiger is also starting instead of Thiago
Christensen
Silva.
and Rudiger are starting.
So, I mean, this is Lampard maybe saying, okay, if it is fatigue, we're going to give it that shot. But I think this is the first game without Timo and Havertz in the squad this season.
Yeah, I have not seen you guys line up without.
And it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the squad copes up, because I think Aston Villa cannot be categorized this season as an easy team. And if Arsenal were categorized as an easy team, we made it easier for them last game. So Chelsea
expectations, bro. Expectations from the league and Champions League and the FA Cup. You want to add that as well?
Do you want to go first, Akshay? I think I need a break.
Okay, Akshay.
I think top 4 is a priority in the Premier League, and I expect Chelsea to finish in the top 4. It's shuffling around a bit, but I expect Chelsea to finish in the top 4 with the squad depth we have. In the Champions League, it's really hard to go past Atletico Madrid. They are a tough side, experienced side. We don't have that much experience. The players haven't played that competition for that long. So I personally can't expect them to go further in the tournament. I think last 16 will be the stop for us. And I think FA Cup should be a trophy Frank Lampard should be targeting because he needs to win something.
All right. Vijay?
I think I'd agree with most of what Akshay said. Top 4 is definitely an achievable and I think a must win target for Frank Lampard if he wants to continue being the manager. More so because he did it last season. And in terms of the Champions League, I honestly have no expectations with that game. I don't think we're going to beat Atletico, but I'm thinking of it as a reunion with Diego Costa that I'm really looking forward to.
You know, he's just been allowed not to train with Atletico Madrid today, and he's probably leaving in Jan. So sorry to dash your hopes there.
Damn.
And he's been linked with Chelsea, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have a shirt.
You might see him on the other side. You
know? Yeah, it's not like we have space for a striker. But,
exactly.
You may give them you may give them Giroud.
True, that's actually
which would be dumb, but yeah.
Well,
bro. You have to take Giroud over Diego Costa. He's done practically nothing for 2 years. Anyhow, both of you would need to rate your squad performance out of 10. Give me a rating.
6. I'd give the squad a rating of 6.
I'd give it 7 for sure. And I think that's hopefully what our season would be, a 7 or a 10. Maybe no trophies, another top 4 finish, but with the gap with whoever is going to lead the table, most likely Liverpool, maybe less than 10 if we're lucky. That's where we'd like to be.
All right. To Chelsea's victors, last weekend or last game week. So Shale, we are coming to Arsenal now. Arsenal, they lie 15th in the table right now. I know you're not an Arsenal fan, so you won't watch them week in, week out. So I guess we both can do, a little bit of a review or a health check for Arsenal. And, if we do it, if you have a quick review there, they had a fantastic end to the season last season, not year. Fantastic end in the sense that they managed to beat City, Liverpool, and then Chelsea once again, in quick succession. Agreed, 2 of those victories came in the FA Cup, so not in the league per se. And the victory over Liverpool came after they'd already sealed the league. So probably, attentions were diverted in that sense. Still, if you look at the stats, they did manage to get those victories. Arteta did manage to win a major trophy. Arsenal did get into the Europa League, which is financially very, very, very important for them, considering they finished 8th. But this season has been horrible for them. Since their victory at Old Trafford, they couldn't really do anything of note at all until they played Chelsea. They lie 15th. Where do you expect them to finish this season? And you give them a rating first. I'll go in after.
Sure. I think with Arsenal, a lot of their struggles get papered over. People tend to think of Arsenal this season as pre-Manchester United and then post-Manchester United. But the fact of the matter is they were not doing that well even before that game.
They were.
They had lost to Leicester and City. I mean, I agree those aren't easy games. But they had already lost 3 or 4 games prior to that. 2 or 3 games prior to that. So they just had a poor season overall. These days, whenever I go on Instagram to see videos of puppies, all I see is memes on Arsenal. So it has a similar effect, but it's depressing, man. It's just the key thing before I get onto the technical side of things. It's just so sad to see a club there's no point in making fun of a club that doesn't at least have a shot of beating your team, right? Of finishing
Shut
better
up,
than you.
Sushil.
No, what I mean is, like, as a whole, as this season goes, it's unlikely that they're going to finish above any of the other top six. And so,
I think it is almost nigh on impossible. It
Yeah.
would be unbelievable if they did.
and it's been that way for a while now. Like, I remember, and in some way, it's karmic too, right? You remember how Arsenal fans used to keep going on and on about St. Totteringham's Day? How poorly has that whole thing aged? Like, I guess I get that it's banter between, between rivals.
I think that the rivalry. I guess you can say it's come back to bite them really hard on the backside.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not like Tottenham are pulling out any trees themselves. So even
True,
though
but-
they are winning, they're still objects of fun. And so I don't know if they've really escaped the Tottenham curse.
But anyway, I
But
think
yeah, coming back to
Yeah, I digress quite a
I
bit.
can't say
Yeah.
Saint Arsenal days because that
Yeah.
becomes very abusive. But it's a pretty bad scenario there for us. And
No, but just about Arsenal season itself, I've digressed quite a bit there. I think the issue with Arsenal this season, more than anything else, has been the fact that they've had this core group of senior players that have been really poor, and Arteta's had some apprehensions about, I don't know what the reason is, but some apprehensions about using more of the younger players of the squad. So we'll have to figure out how things move, into next season. But I think this season is pretty much a write-off for these guys, man. I mean, they would be lucky to finish in the top half, honestly, based on their form. The Chelsea win, and these guys spoke at length about Chelsea, but I think Chelsea's squad is infinitely better than Arsenal's. They have too many issues and too many positions for them to be able to salvage anything. You can quote me on that. I usually am not so, dismissive about of big teams, particularly. Season is just, it's a write-off for the Arsenal team.
yeah, and if we were to make predictions, I would think, as Sushil said, I think they'd be in that middle of the middle pack, essentially between 8th and 12th this season.
Yeah.
I think that's where they'll finish. As far as the two cup competitions that they're in are concerned, FA Cup is like Arsenal's trophy. Like, I am pretty sure they'll get to the last 8, if not anything else of that competition. Then depending on who they face, it'll be up to that. As far as Europa League is concerned, I honestly feel, even though Arsenal did win all of their group games, the teams that have dropped down from the Champions League, and I'm not really counting United there because I'm a United supporter, because, well, it's Europa League, right? Karan had even forgotten who Tottenham were playing in the Europa League, so that's essentially what the league means. But coming back to the Europa League, I think that could be a competition they might go deep into, considering that they'll have not much to lose with indifferent form in the Premier League if they're able to cement a mid-table spot. That's about it, Sushil. Any divergences from your squad? Would I be wrong in saying that I give this squad a 0 on effort?
Yeah. I mean, especially the senior members of the squad, they have 0.
Zero on effort. They've let Arteta down so badly.
Yeah, and obviously Arteta, he has
He's made
his share of the
mistakes.
blame.
I'm not denying that.
But man, some of the players in that squad, you just need a complete clear out. Like, I know you're gonna have to sell players below market value, but just do it and start over.
It's like a dirty gutter that needs to be acid washed or something.
And I mean,
So
we
you
can
just
name
put the
names.
beggar in the gutter.
We can name names. I think these guys made a huge mistake by signing Aubameyang into that 3-year deal.
Massive.
Yeah.
And then topping it up with a Willian signing.
Yeah, topping it off with the Willian signing. I
A
don't think
third
Xhaka
sandwich
should
with
be
a shit
anywhere near the
topping.
club. Tierney is actually good, right? Some of the new players they signed are actually good, but there's so much dead wood in that squad, man. It just needs to be all removed. Yeah.
Yeah. I come to Manchester United now. Anurag, same parameters for you. How do you think Manchester United's season has been? What do you expect for United to do in the 4 competitions that they're in? And please rate the squad performance for me.
So basically, one of the competitions that we are in the semi-final right now. Apparently, what we are hearing is the game could get postponed. Let's see what happens there. But again, coming to the Premier League, to the competition that really matters the most, I don't think any team that we talked about had a more horrible start than we did. 3-1 to Crystal Palace, the 6-1 to Tottenham Hotspur. But these games are honestly not that disappointing because down the line, you were shit yourself. So I think that doesn't hurt that much. The games against PSG and Leipzig, these were the ones that really, really kicked me on the butt. I don't know why you're laughing. Is that some comment?
You just said it doesn't hurt to shit yourself. That was some philosophy shit right there.
That's what I laughed at. No. Basically, he
I have some audio issues. I really doubt if I said that. I have some audio issues.
He said it doesn't hurt so much because they're so inconsistent. And I laughed at that because that's the story of Manchester United since Sir Alex Ferguson. It doesn't hurt so much anymore. I still dance because I know they're going to crap the bed all the time.
Yeah, indeed. And I don't know what I just said, but again, exactly what the United were at one point. They don't know what they were doing. But I think, I would still give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a lot of credit. I think fan base has really got to cool down a little bit, for God's sake. This is arguably the toughest season any manager, any player has had to go through or go up against. And he's literally created two different squads. One plays a diamond and one plays the usual 4-2-1-3. The 4-2-1-3. And honestly, they've been working well. And because I think that is, if you look at it logically, if you put the hatred and agendas aside, I think that is one of the best ways to take this forward, take this side forward. And I'm honestly not that disappointed. At this point, I'm rather more hopeful than what I was in the last, than what I was a couple of months ago. I see a lot more passion in the side, especially the amount of chances that we create every game, goal scoring chances. Yes, we are conceding right now, but again, we are the worst we have the worst defensive record in the top 10. A bit like where Chelsea were last season. They had the attack, they had all the goals in them, they had the creative resources, but again, they're absolutely crapping in defensively, and that's what we are doing right now. And even worse, if I must add. I think if we can really sort that one issue, I think this squad can really go. I don't expect them to really push Liverpool. I think that side, you look at them without Virgil van Dijk and all of them, they're still really putting so many good squads to bed. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I think top 4 is more than a reality now. I think if we are losing a top 4 spot, I think that'll be one of the biggest disappointment of the entire season. I think we're very much in contention, and I would,
No, this wasn't like, I don't mean to knock off that statement from Manchester United, but this is just a comment on the league in general. Is it me, or is this league so competitive that none of the top 10 teams right now you can predict where they are going to be at the end
except
of the
for Liverpool?
Precisely. I'm just saying I would be incredibly disappointed. I am just saying, after the momentum that we have, it would be incredibly disappointing to see this go down the gutter.
Just in character for United to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Precisely. Yeah. I think it's one thing that we can expect them to do so. But again, as I said, I think I'd be incredibly disappointed if that happens. As far as the Champions League goes, I don't want to talk about the last 2 games. I think we had like one leg in the round of 16 and we cut our own leg. So I think we
left it there.
One of the stupidest things. Yeah, that was one of the stupidest things that happened. I think if there was one thing that really, really hurt me a lot, I think I didn't want to sleep nights. It was a PSG and Leipzig night. That Anthony Martial miss, it really gives me nightmares even now. Besides that, I think this has not been a bad season.
United are not in the Champions League. Tell me about your Europa League expectations.
That was 20 days ago.
I'm sorry. Are we talking Europa?
It was less than 20 days ago.
Yeah, bye. Yeah, it seems.
I didn't do.
I've been living those 20 days over and over.
Grade the squad, give it a number. Let's move on. Yeah.
Yeah, Chelsea match starts soon.
You guys got 15 minutes. Oh, okay, Rash. Shut up now. Okay, chill.
Let us try play it for 15 minutes. Arsenal game didn't last that long.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, Anurag.
But again, I
Expectations.
think
Your
that's pretty
expectations.
much what I had. That was pretty much what I had. I hope we can do something to sit. If we can just get one trophy, I think that will be a very, very big achievement. So not the Europa thing, but I think the realistic trophies, the trophies that really mean something, the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, I think realistically we are in for it. I think if we can get hands on one of them, I think that'll be great. Besides that, I would give this attack right now. I would give them 8 out of 10. Our defense, I would give a 2 or 3. I think it's been that bad. So overall, put together, I think it's going to be a 6 out of 10 for me,
All right.
which could have been so easily 8 if not for our defensive howlers.
Yeah, it could have been. It could have been. I think just my 2 cents on Manchester United. I think they could have been a lot better had they listened to Solskjaer once in the last 3 transfer windows. He asked for a striker, they let him go to Dortmund. He asked for a winger, they let him stay at Dortmund. He asked for a midfielder, they let him go to Dortmund. He asked for a defender, they let him stay at Leipzig. So it's just
Like he has a script.
Yeah. So it's beautiful. It's beautiful how. So I was talking to, I don't know who I was talking to. I told them, Ole Solskjaer. Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine. Ole Solskjaer is like that partner who keeps forgiving his or her partner for cheating on them, consistently hoping that they'll change. And they don't change. They cheat on them. They cheat on them. They cheat on them. And Ole Solskjaer keeps believing that eventually life is going to come back to a whole merry-go-round good
Vijay
circle,
has a comment
and,
like almost
it's
ready.
gonna be-
He has a counter ready right now.
My question is, isn't the partner in this Manchester United?
Yes. No, partner is the board, actually.
Fair enough.
Ed Woodward. And company. Anyhow, coming from that, drastic and sad outlook, you never know if United, do manage to get a few results and do manage to do at Anfield, which no one has done for 2 years. It's my birthday on the 18th, boys. Come on, give me something. All right. So thank you so much.
That's what she said.
Always have to have the last line, don't you asshole? All the best to Akshay and Vijay, of course, for tonight. I hope Chelsea can bring some, end of the year cheer in your lives. As far as everyone else is concerned, Liverpool play day after tomorrow, isn't it?
Thursday, I think.
Thursday, yeah, day after tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
And
Thursday night, yeah.
And United play tomorrow late evening, right? So thank you once again for joining me here, boys. Once again, a plug for V Express Post. Do check it out. We'll post the links to their Insta page and to their other social media accounts in the video description below. As for the rest of you, thank you so much for joining me here. Guys, do let us know your predictions for Arsenal, Chelsea and United going ahead this season and your ratings for their squad and their performance this season. I've been Kushag. This is the Sports Guide. We'll see you soon.